I propose this evening to speak to you on a new kind of radiation or light emission from atoms and molecules. These were the historic words of Sir Chandrasekhar Venkataraman as he began his lecture to the South Indian Science Association in Bangalore on 16th of March 1928. Following this, he proceeded to describe a discovery of the world-renowned Raman effect, which changed the course of physics and won him the Nobel Prize in 1930, the first Asian and Indian to receive the most coveted prize in the field of science. Countless men must have observed the blue color of the sea since ancient times, but it took the genius of C.V. Raman to unfold the natural law behind the seemingly simple phenomenon. The curiosity to question simple occurrences and the perseverance that takes to answer them is what sets scientists like C.V. Raman apart from the common man. What is more, the discovery was made far away from the great centers of scientific research, using simple equipments on a sea voyage which is sailing from Europe to Calcutta on the Mediterranean Sea. In principle, Raman effect explores the scattering of light when it passes through a medium and explains the blue color of the sea is due to the scattering of sunlight by the water molecules. This phenomenon is called molecular diffraction. When light beam falls on a liquid or solid medium, some of the beam pass through the medium and small part of the light is deflected and scattered in different directions by the molecules of that medium. Raman demonstrated that the wavelength of the scattered light is different from the wavelength of the original incident beam. This change in wavelength of light beam on deflection by a medium is known as Raman effect. Identified as one of the fundamental principles in the optical physics, Raman's light scattering effect finds immense application in today's digitalized world. Researchers and experts working in the area of pharmaceuticals, material sciences, petroleum industry, and other chemical industries regularly use a technique called modern spectrometry, which is based on Raman effect. The Raman scanner is used to detect drugs, explosives, hazardous chemicals, and gases. Raman radar is used in the atmospheric physics to measure the atmospheric extension and water vapor in vertical distribution. Honoring the discovery of this fundamental principle, every year 28th of February is celebrated as National Science Day in our country since 1986. It is a countrywide science festival celebrating the need and contribution of science and technology, a day when the nation commemorates the genius of Sir C.V. Raman and celebrates the spirit of science through plethora of activities ranging from seminars, debates, exhibitions, quiz competitions, and lectures involving schools, colleges, research institutions. Organized by National Council of Science and Technology Communication, this year the focus is on the theme Future of Science, Technology and Innovation, Impact on Education, Skill and Work. As we celebrate yet another Science Day, let us accept that, if applied wisely, science and technology has immense power to transform the world. It is science and technology through which we can address the issue of demand and supply in our country. It is through science and technology using which we can make this whole world a better place to live in. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Today I am going to speak to you about another Indian scientist, Homi Jahangir Bhabha, who was known as the father of Indian nuclear program. Homi Jahangir Bhabha was born into a wealthy Parsi family on 30th October 1909. He received his early educations at Bombay Cathedral and John Common School and entered Elphinstone College at the age of 15 after passing the senior Cambridge examination with honors. He went on to complete a degree in mechanical engineering from Cambridge and joined Tata Steel as a metallurgist for a brief period of time. But his father understood his interest in the field of research and he prepared him to send abroad for future research program. Homi Jahangir Bhabha passed the Tripos examination in mechanical science in the year 1930 in first class. During this period of time, he worked in Cavendish Lab in Britain, where he was working to get a doctorate in theoretical physics. This particular lab was famous for a number of scientific discoveries that includes the discovery of neutron by James Chadwick. During this period of time, nuclear physics was attracting the greatest minds in comparison to theoretical physics. He received a doctorate in nuclear physics in 1933 on his research paper, The Absorption of Cosmic Radiations. He offered an explanation for absorption features and electron shower production in cosmic rays. His research in modern physics continued in England until the outbreak of the Second World War. During the beginning phases of the Second World War, he was in India for a brief period of time, and when the war continued, he decided to remain in India. He accepted the post of Reader in Physics at the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore, headed by Nobel laureate C.V. Raman. During this period of time, he played a key role in convincing the then leaders of the Congress to start the ambitious nuclear program. In the year 1950, Bhabha represented India in United Nations Conference on Peaceful Uses of Atomic Energy in Switzerland. During this period, he intensified the lobbying for the development of the nuclear weapons for India. He aggressively and publicly began the campaign for nuclear weapons after the Sino-Indian War. He was awarded Padma Bhushan by Government of India in 1954. In January 1966, he died in a plane crash near Mont Blanc while heading to Vienna to attend a conference on International Atomic Energy Agency's Scientific Advisory Committee. It was the tragic end of a glorious career for Homi Jahangir Bhabha. But the legacy he left behind will inspire the young brains always for the research in modern physics. Thank you.
Dear students, today we will discuss about the work of some eminent scientists. Science is an important part of our everyday life, even more so than we notice. From our fancy gadgets to the technology we cannot live without, all are the creation of the science. I wonder what we would be doing if none of these things were invented. So here we will discuss a briefing about the work of a few well-known scientists who got the global recognition. To start with, our own Pranakrishna Parija. Pranakrishna Parija, born on 1st April 1891 in Balikuda, was an Indian botanist. His research work comprised mainly fundamental and applied aspects of plant physiology. He studied water hyacinths and other aquatic weeds. He served as Vice Chancellor of Utkal University. He worked as the Principal in Ravenshaw College. He was an elected member of the first Odisha Legislative Assembly. He awarded with the Padma Bhushan in 1955. Another well-known scientist is Albert Einstein. Born on 14th March 1879, was a German-born theoretical physicist. Universally acknowledged to be one of the two greatest physicists of all time, the other being, Isaac Newton. Einstein was born in the German Empire but moved to Switzerland, later to United States. He settled in the United States and became an American citizen in 1940. He received the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics for his service to the theoretical physics and especially for his discovery of the law of the photoelectric effect. Lastly, Satyendranath Bose, our own scientist. He born on January 1st, 1894 in Calcutta. S.N. Bose was an Indian physicist specializing in quantum mechanics. Bose-Einstein statistics is well known and is popular among the physics students. In 1937, Rabindranath Tagore dedicated his only book on science, Vishwa Parichaya, to Satyendranath Bose. He received Padma Vibhushan in 1954. The list is endless, but we will stop here.